We had no money, we had no name recognition, and we had no staff.
If you didn't have those things, what did you have? How was Habitat Wake founded, and what was your role in that?
I guess a little backstory. While going through college and seminary, I discerned that God was calling me to mobilize the church to serve the poor and work for justice. I had a short list of places where I'd like to do that, and Habitat was on the top, or the second of that list. And then I had a seminary internship and had the opportunity, 20 hours a week. Basically, pastor said, do as you wish, engage the congregation. I said, let's do Habitat. And he said, what's that? And I said what it was, and he said, let's do it. And so I did a look around the community and found out that God was already at work. There was a group forming in Wake Forest and Franklin County that was looking at forming a Habitat affiliate. There was a group that John Wilson was leading with churches, and there's a group that Freddie Johnson was leading. So I just brought them all together at a meeting at that church, Millburg Baptist, where that internship was, and we agreed to go with the Habitat model. And we were affiliated, took a year to do that. That was in '85, built our first home in '86. What was your background coming into Habitat Wake?
I had been with Habitat for Humanity in Birmingham, Alabama for about 16 years. I started out there entry level, just looking to get into the nonprofit world, and fell in love with it and worked my way all the way up to executive director there, and then applied for the CEO position here when it came open.
I'm glad you did.
Thanks. Me too. So what were the biggest challenges in those early days?
We had no money, we had no name recognition, and we had no staff. I led it for 20 hours a week for the first 3 years of the organization. It was not into year 5 that we had a construction superintendent and an office person. So all this was done with no name, no money, and no staff.
If you didn't have those things, what did you have?
Beautiful model. Coming out of Koinonia Farm, a demonstration plot of black and whites living together, what Clarence would call the kingdom of God. We had a beautiful movement, beautiful principles coming from Clarence of empowerment principles for the homebuyers, social change principles. We had a beautiful vision. What was it like to move your entire life for this role? Why did you make that decision?
Yeah, it was not an easy decision, I'll be honest. I made the decision because I thought I had something that Habitat Wake needed. And the stability and the experience I had at Habitat, I thought was something that was missing. And Habitat Wake had always been known in the Habitat world as one of the biggest and best affiliates out there. And to be honest, I wanted to be part of it. The decision in picking up my life and moving everything, was not an easy one. I loaded up my car with my dog and drove out here and spent several weeks in temporary housing while waiting to get my house completed. So it was a little bit of an adjustment period there, but I knew that Habitat was what I wanted to do. I knew that I could make a difference here, and so I made the choice. We're nearing 1,000 homes. Could you imagine that kind of impact in 1985 at 20 hours a week?
Yeah.
Really? That's impressive.
We had all the right ingredients. We had terrific principles. From my point of view, terrific theology. We had a earth-shaking foundation from Koinonia Farm to work from. We have a former president being your champion, and plus Wake County is a growing place. Now, all that was national, but local, we should be doing well. I mean,
sure.
it's a strong economy, great place to live.
I respect anybody though who can see from that far back something to get as big as this has gotten.
How has the housing crisis evolved since you began this career?
Ugh, is my answer to that. It's evolved dramatically. It's honestly, it is nothing like when I started with Habitat. People talked about housing and the need for housing, but it was as much about the need for home ownership in pockets of people that didn't have opportunity. But now it is just everywhere. It's everywhere and everyone. You've held many roles across Habitat International and Habitat Wake and probably every other habitat you can think of. Was it ever challenging to pass leadership on to different hands here at Habitat Wake?
No. I love starting lists, and I love starting things in general, and bringing people together. At that point, we had really strong volunteer support. We were run by committees, and I know it's a scary thought, but I mean, we were finding sites. We had a site selection committee,
Sure.
fundraising committee, finance committee. We had a deep deck of people. So I felt comfortable, and plus they said, well, you know what needs to be done, you be on the search committee. So I helped interview those replacements. I felt really confident that we were in good hands. What are you most proud of when you think about where Habitat Wake is today?
I'm just proud that we're continuing to serve families. That's what, that we are able to transform one life and multiple lives. That's what I'm most proud of. That is what gets me going every single day, is the thought that we can have a hand in helping someone change the rest of their lives. Because that's, I don't know of anywhere else you get to do that, and that's powerful. We're celebrating 40 years. What does 40 years mean to you?
Dang, I'm old.
Well, you said it, not me.
I like to say, well, I did it when I was in diapers, or like this, but I was young. I was very young.
All right.
I was fresh out of college and just now starting. But we maintained be a top tier affiliate, authentic to the model, and fueled by
The movement.
By faith. The movement.
Yeah, nice.
What does 40 years of impact mean to you?
Well, considering I'm quite young, I'm not sure that I can understand 40 years fully, but I'll give it a shot. You know, I think 40 years to me, in my own personal life, when I turned 40 is when I started to hit my stride. And so that's what it means to me, that we are fully who we need to be, and that from here, it's all up. When I think of anything 40 years old, I'm like, you're just at the peak of getting going. Across 40 years, how have you seen the organization navigate staying true to the mission and adapting to change?
Our core has stayed, but everything else has changed. In regards to also the empowerment approach, that has stayed, but how we do that, empowerment for our home buyers, is do that. How we select families, everything's changed. That's just good evolving. What do you see as the biggest challenges ahead?
There are challenges every single day. There are challenges every single day to what we do. Whether it is the cost of land or the ability to prepare homeowners for homeownership, or the working with municipalities and governments to try to figure out a more streamlined way to get to where we need to be.
Of course, it's not going to be easy. Transforming changing the world, transforming the society, undoing years of oppression and so forth.
If it was
It's gonna
easy,
take a
everybody'd
while.
do it.
But I think we are poised to make a significant transformation in this community.
I think you're right.
What role does advocacy play in future work here at Habitat Way?
I think it has the ability to be the tipping point for what we do. It is a way for us to be able to talk about the work in a very different way. And that ability to influence people is huge in getting more people involved and bringing more people together from doing the tangible aspects, but also in just being able to change the systems that have caused decades and decades and decades of problems. And I think that advocacy is really the key to the future for us. Oh, don't answer this.
Don't answer that.
How have you seen Habitat Wake evolve under my leadership? It's a horrible question for you to ask.
All for the good. All for the good. You brought care for people, care for staff. You made us a loving and caring place to be, and then we could do that to others. So we desperately needed that. And then you picked up, do your day job, the business, all the things that need evolving, you did. You're on it. You're on it.
Thank
You're
you.
exactly what
That's
we
very
need.
nice. And a horrible question to ask. What's one thing you're most proud of when you think about Habitat Wake today?
The radical inclusivity that was core to Habitat, I think we do that well. We could always do better, but yeah, I'm proud of who we are.
I believe that everyone who works at the affiliate believes that we are radically inclusive. And there's something different about that environment,
Yes.
right? When that's where you come from, it's a very different place. In general, what do you think are the biggest challenges nonprofit leaders face?
Humility. I think there's a lot of times when people can crash, when they lose sight of it's not all about them, it's the movement, it's the organization.
I think probably one of the biggest things nonprofit leaders face is burnout. I think when you are mission driven and you are constantly working on a movement, it is really easy to burn out. I think you're right on the humility piece. I think that is, if ever you as a nonprofit leader believe you're bigger than the mission, you're sunk. You are sunk.
Why do I keep coming back to Habitat? I know why I got there. Why I keep coming back is it really is basically 100% alignment with my personal mission. Seeking to put God's love into action, bring people together, direct service, justice. I mean, that's my mission. What has kept you involved with Habitat for so long?
I just love what I do. If we can do what we do and just continue to do it for person after person after person, imagine what the world can be, right? And that kind of, that's what keeps me coming back, is I can imagine what the world could be. I think my final thoughts on 40 years are, we've got work to do. The work is not done, and that we're lucky enough to do this work every day. Let's get up and keep doing it. We can make it better tomorrow.
I think we have a lot to celebrate, and I think I'm serious that I think we're just starting, I think, living into the fully what our architects thought we could do. And I think we could keep changing this community.
I agree. Let's do it.
Let's do it.